Humidor Shop Talk. Humidor Shop Talk. Get ready. Humidor Shop Talk. Get ready. Humidor Shop Talk. Sports. Humidor Shop Talk. Cigars. Humidor Shop Talk. Get ready. Humidor Shop Talk. Get ready. Humidor Shop Talk.
Yo, what's up, man? Humidor Sports and Cigars. I'm back at you, man. There's buffoonery going on, man. You know what I'm saying? We backstage, man. We over here cracking up and shit. Kev throwing stuff out, man. We crazy. We back up here at Water Lamone's, man. This is our home base, SmokeFellas. I'm here with KDL. Say what's up to the people, KDL.
How y'all doing, man? Good Saturday morning. Let's get it.
Hey, check it out. I got my man to my left. No pun intended. Lucky Lefty, what's up?
What up, good people? Good morning. Good morning.
And then we got the angriest man in podcast radio, based in the world. He just angry for no reason. Early in the morning. Sly, say what's up to the people, Mr. Angry
Hey man, you say what you want to. Marcellus Wiley, I'm listening to him. He about as bad as me.
I don't know, bro.
He terrible.
I don't know. Where you got that hat snug on your head? I see you sneaking here no there.
Cooler. And no pun intended. Cooler.
Hey man, we got our man Julio Malone in the house, man. One of the greatest DJs to come out of Chicago, Illinois, man. Say what's up to the people, man. We hit you in the back, man.
What up? What up, everybody?
He want to play Shy Guy. Shy Guy. Oh,
Hey, man,
Shy
you
Guy.
got to put the address out there, 3721 Salk Trail. We here for Final Four, baby. Come kick it with us.
Can you get a full address?
All right, but I got to say Richmond Park, Illinois, 60.
Yeah.
I ain't doing all that. It's
Yeah.
too much.
Just Richmond Park.
Richmond Park.
Somebody was drinking last night, but I ain't gonna say no names.
No, I really wasn't.
Well, you drinking right now?
Mind your business. Let's go to the show. Tell the people my business. My cup black.
Hey, man, listen. NCAA March Madness has been off the chain. Now, everybody, all the hype has been about the men. The men. As I was reading, they rate now like 6.5%. Now, the ladies, on the other hand, the ladies got bona fide stars that are showing up, showing out. KDL, we watch all year long. They watch here and there spotty, but we watch all year long.
You know what I do.
You don't watch women.
You don't watch the women like you don't watch college basketball because you didn't play. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. You're not gonna get me off track. You're not gonna get me off track, man. But the thing is, the ladies have been showing and improving. If you didn't watch games last night, you missed some great basketball, bro. Great basketball, because LSU was down 9 at the end of the third, came storming back against number 1 Virginia. Dude, bananas. KDL, I know you was watching it. Your thoughts?
We can start with the LSU game. The LSU game was exciting because Virginia Tech was controlling the game. You hear me? Controlling the game.
Hands down.
LSU came out the second half, and their defense was a lot better. Like, they started stopping the guard that was shooting the threes. And then Angel Reese, no, I take that back. The guard for LSU was killing in the second half. And Angel Reese, all she did was got every board, put it back in, or got fouled, and got to the free throw line. There was a 20-2 run or something like that, 20-4 run that LSU pulled off in the fourth quarter alone.
Hey, her nickname is kind of cold, though.
The fourth quarter.
By you, Barbie.
Yeah.
That is dope. That's pretty dope.
I'm sorry, it's not. KDL, I like Kim. Kim Markey is probably, to me, the best coach in college basketball. Well, she's one of the top coaches in college. Yeah, well, I mean, she led Notre Dame too.
No, Baylor.
She was at Baylor.
She led Baylor, so be cool now. She had old girls. One of her best players ever was over in prison.
Brittany Grant.
Yeah.
So
Come on, man. That ain't
now
got
that you
to do with
speak of
last
that
night.
about that, man,
That was a hell of a team.
let me tell you about the bullshit that they bringing into the game right now.
What's that?
Because she's winning, got LSU on the top of the world. Now they got the nerve to put out an article the other day asking or mentioning how come she didn't stand up for Brittany. Why are you bringing that into this right now? Let this woman shine while she's on top of LSU, and now you trying to bring this in. Why didn't you? Now, when they did ask her about it,
She said something.
she said they was like, well, you haven't made any statements about Brittany, and her statement was, you won't. Next question.
Right.
Hey, she's a firecracker. I
And
like her.
she is a firecracker, but here's the thing: in a situation like that, you as a veteran coach has to know how you respond to that. People are going to take it. So at the time, she made the wrong response. Don't let her off the hook on that. However, I
am gonna let off the hook.
I do agree that last night she's rolling LSU. You ain't never been in the Final Four. They got a chance to win a championship. Now it's not the time for that. However, at the time they asked her, she got offended by it, and she came off that she didn't give a damn about Brittany. And that wasn't the right time to come off like that. Don't
How
let
did
her
she
off
get
the
a?
hook.
How did
Don't
she?
let her off the hook.
She
on that.
said.
But that's
Don't
She
let her off the hook on
said
that, bro.
you won't.
I dare y'all
That
to go
was
back
it.
and watch it. Go back and watch it.
But
you gotta go back and watch it. I
Kev,
already know what happened.
now you
They
gotta
locks.
now go in reverse a minute.
All
So
I'm saying is,
let me argue
last
with you
night-
on this. Let
last
me
night
argue with you
wasn't
on
time
this.
to bring it up.
What's wrong with the dude, man?
Last night wasn't time to bring it up. Skull dude. Last night wasn't time to bring it up. However, at the time they asked her, she was insensitive. Can we agree on that? Would you say that?
Because she gave a Bill Belichick answer and said move on.
It wasn't. No, bro.
But Kev,
The
you have
entire country was concerned for this girl.
Okay,
man.
let me
That
explain
wasn't the right
something
time
to
to
you.
give an arrogant answer. That was your former player.
what was arrogant about it?
That was your former
Oh,
player.
you are. Hey, look.
You the same person that.
So
Come on, man.
what
Hold
I'm
on.
trying to say
Whoa,
is
there's a lot of keying on the left,
From the
bro.
soul. From the soul.
From the soul.
From the soul.
Hey, I get what you're saying, Kevin, but I think you're taking that the wrong way. But as far as basketball, I'm already picking LSU, even though I like the LeBron of college women basketball.
No,
Caitlin
Steph
herself.
Curry. The Steph Curry.
No, she's a LeBron because she's average. She has, it's almost triple double. Steph ain't never seen that. But
Why you going off topic?
I'm not. That he brought that up. I'm taking LSU to beat them because I think the most experienced coach there is going to do a job. So I'm going to take Kim to beat
I
them.
got to come back and call bullshit on what you just said because if you go back to Brittany's grandma's autobiography, she had a troubled time at Baylor because Baylor's a Christian school, and they didn't, fill in her choices as far as being a lesbian.
She lived her life.
I think the to me the biggest issue
Ain't
is
she too big for a man though? Like, he got to get on the step.
really.
Come on,
That's where you going with it.
Come on.
Okay, but I think I think it was the timing of when they brought it to her. Like she's celebrating, her making it to the national championship game. They just won the Final Four. Why is that coming up now? So that's probably what irritated her. So she I'm pretty sure I didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure she came off because it would irritate the hell out of me. Like really, that's what we talking about, like that.
Well, she ain't responded to it, but I guarantee you they're gonna ask that question
Right.
in the press conference before
And that's wrong.
right.
That's wrong.
the
However,
game tomorrow.
that's wrong to bring it up now because you're taking away from what her kids are doing.
She's not even at Baylor anymore.
These kids
Like,
ain't
it's
never
not
been to
even-
the final.
Right.
But at the time they originally asked her, Brittany wasn't back yet.
No team has been
And
to the finals at LSU. Men.
Yes, agree. So now is not the time to ask
Well, they have
her.
been
I
siblings.
agree.
Of course they want to.
What she should do is say, hey, y'all, before this interview gets started, I'm only answering questions about my current team, where we came from. This is our second year together, and we're in the Final Four. We're in the
So
championship
you don't
game.
think that's gonna be blown?
I'm not answering any questions other than that.
You don't think
Now,
that's
let's
gonna
start
be
right
blown up?
because
That's how you do that.
because the thing is that the women already have women's sports already have a hard enough time getting their shine. And so now this is their moment each. Like give them that. So
They're killing the man.
how she gonna respond accordingly. And if she snaps, she should snap. I'm with all
She
the
should
way.
snap now.
I'm with all the way on it.
She should
Snap
wake
out
up with the shits on Sunday
with
morning.
the shits. Like I dare you. I dare you to
Again,
ask me.
The original
I dare you
time
to
they
ask me
asked
anything.
her, Brittany wasn't back yet, and she responded inappropriately. to me.
Listen,
But carry on.
what they should have been asking her last night is why the hell she had on that puffy ass pink sleeve dress and her grandbaby had the same outfit on. Come on, man. That's what they should have been asking.
Wait till tomorrow. She probably gonna have on a purple.
I mean, she is country.
They said she be dressing like Liberace. but that's her style.
Hey,
that's
man,
her style. She ain't old girl down in Texas.
She gonna have a purple one on tomorrow.
It's sad though, man. Even in women's sports, like we critique how they dress, all these things, man. It's like
We
they
do
never
the
get
men
a fair
too.
shake. No, because there's some horrible dressing
Hold
coaches
on,
in
hold on.
men's sports.
Sean, I wish you could put up that photo.
Second of all,
That's
it was-
Photoshop.
it was
Come on,
big
man.
box,
Hey. It was funny as hell though.
Yeah, that's Photoshop, man. Come
That's
on,
Photoshop. But Ben, please let me lead off the next game. The other women's game.
The other women's game was
You gonna talk about how
Iowa.
terrible South Carolina big girl is?
Nope.
She
I'm
looked
gonna-
absolutely trash
Nope.
last night.
Nope. I'm gonna get to her, but they were kind of packing the paint in because
If you didn't watch Iowa versus South Carolina,
Upset.
you had Caitlin Clark against Ashley. What's her name?
The last Ashley.
Aaliyah
the last
Boston.
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah
Aaliyah
Oh,
Boston.
Aaliyah, the last
Yeah.
Boston. Okay.
Yeah.
The last-
Let me
the
lead
last
this
one.
off, and let me start by saying, first of all, I didn't want to see South Carolina lose because they won. You know, they were undefeated for that in 2 years. I wanted to see them complete it. I'm gonna start off by saying I love Dawn Staley. Like ever since she was a player, WNBA, Olympics.
One of the best basketball players ever played.
Yes, no doubt. But last night she got out coached. Let's call it what it is. She got out coached. There's no way you let this girl that's averaging 30
She killed
go one-on-one. You didn't take the ball out of her hands. And even if you thought you can guard her arrogantly in the first half, you saw that you couldn't. You didn't make no adjustments in the second half
I agree.
to run at her, get the ball out of hands, make somebody else beat you. You don't let that girl go one-on-one. She was coming off high screen, shooting the three from the logo. Right?
I mean, because the
and
thought
she was
process,
going to the basket one-on-one. Like you
But
have
could
to
the-
make an adjustment.
That's all they got.
Could the thought process be though? Okay, let this one person, they're gonna get theirs and shut down everybody else because most teams are better when you know you got multiple people scoring double figures and things like that.
You didn't
It
do
just
neither one,
backfire. You know what I mean?
You didn't do neither one.
Well,
She was still hitting her teammates and getting hers.
hey Kev,
You got to make an adjustment, man.
Kev.
Come on, man. It's the Final Four.
Kev, we all in play ball
on,
up
man.
here.
Yes.
When you got a player that's giving you buckets from everywhere on the court, man,
What do you do?
it kills the player's whole morale. It kills their morale.
Good.
Like-
Now
Then run at her
Mike
and get the
Houston.
ball out of hands, bro.
they ran at her to get her off the three, but the girl
Don't
is
get the
so
ball out
fast.
of hands,
You
period.
couldn't get the ball out of hands.
Yes, you
she,
can.
she moving around like Steph.
Bro,
Here we
this
go
ain't
with
Reggie
this
Miller we're
again.
talking about, and this ain't Steph.
Come
She
on,
shoots
man.
like Steph.
Come
She
on,
don't move
man.
like
She
Steph.
don't shoot like Steph.
All you
man.
have to
Stop
do-
saying that.
When she comes over half court, she's the ball handler. You run at her, get the ball out of her hands, right? You could have did a triangle.
I
one.
agree with Kevin.
You could have did it. Like it was a couple things you could have at least
Hey,
tried in
Kev.
the second half. You made no adjustment whatsoever.
Hey,
And
Kev.
I agree with
This
Kevin.
girl is
because I
Hey,
told
Kev.
you that yesterday.
Hey Kev,
Come on, man. And I love
every
Dawn, man. I
great
swear to God.
defense only plays great for 16 seconds ahead and try to time this shit.
Right.
16
And that 16
seconds.
seconds,
Then after
somebody else
that,
should've shot the ball
somebody's
instead of
going to lapse. But the problem was what Don should have did. You chased her off the three,
Okay.
but your bigs, where were they at? It is no illegal defense or nothing. They should have been in the paint to stop her when she drove in the paint. They wasn't.
You making
That's
my
the
point.
one thing
You're
you
making my point.
But the girl is a bucket, man.
But I'm not saying
This
you're going to
is
shut
40 in back-to-back nights.
This is what I'm saying. You're never going to shut a great player down. You try to contain her. You're not going to shut her down because she was still shooting. While you ran off the three, she's still shooting threes from the hash.
Well, old girl was in her
So
face.
she still was getting her three.
Old girl had a hand up in her
But-
face.
What I'm saying is you get the ball out of hand, you make her go to the basket, and your bigs converge. You make it hard on her. You make somebody else beat
Let me
you.
ask Lefty.
That's all I'm saying.
Lefty,
man.
how did you contain in practice when I was heating you up like that?
Whoa!
What?
God, you know,
I'm just, I mean, he could tell.
God,
It happened to him
man.
on multiple occasions in
Whoa.
practice.
And then he woke up and wiped the slob off his jaw because he was dreaming. Clearly, he was dreaming. that never happened. But you know what? I just can't believe that all of a sudden Don Staley forgot how to coach. Right?
What did we witness?
Almost a 2-year win streak. I don't think she forgot how to coach. Sometimes a great player just takes you there, man. Like it's nothing you can do. Like I'm not gonna sit here and we were talking earlier, me, you and Keith, and you know I heard y'all kind of shitting on Don Staley, and I'm like, you don't accomplish what she's accomplished, and all of a sudden forget how to coach.
How about
sometimes that's a great player just steps up.
How about you try some type of adjustment?
But no,
some type of adjustment. You don't just stand there and let it happen.
Kevin, she just got first of all exposed. It wasn't our coaching so bad. Her team got exposed because our big girls are worthless. They couldn't defend.
No, they packed the paint.
They couldn't defend when they got the ball. When the guards were throwing the ball, they couldn't hold on to them. They looked like they were in 8th grade instead of college playing basketball.
How come they just couldn't have an off night?
Just learning how to play.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say they
out of 36 games, they had a off night.
They just got
no, it wasn't an off night. Iowa
got exposed.
No, Iowa had a game plan to pack the paint. They literally, and I forgot the girl name. They literally left number 25 wide open at the 3 as if she was Patrick Bell.
You're right.
Swear to
because
God.
Caitlin,
they packed the paint. That's why Boston couldn't get the ball.
Give a wave off like Draymond Green, like she did this and was in the paint.
Yes.
And old girl was at the 3 and she waved her off. I was like, Draymond?
Totally disrespectful. So, Don, let this be a lesson to Don. First of all, you have to make some type of adjustments, at least by halftime. This is the Final Four. You owe it to your team to make some type of adjustments. Number 2, you got to recruit some 3-point shooters.
Yeah, she got
you ain't had no shooters. They backed off. They was like, we're not letting Boston beat us.
They give them the shots, yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. We leave it alone. Let me ask y'all this. If the Iowa coach said, we're not letting Aaliyah Boston beat us, we're going to pack the paint, how come Dawn couldn't say, well, we're not going to let Kaden Clark beat us? Let's run at her and get the ball. Like, you got to make some type of adjustment.
That's different.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to kind of game plan for a big man as far as getting the ball out of his hand. But when a guard like that, that's not easy.
You could double
triangle one. You could have did
something. You
something.
could double team shots, but guess what? You go the flamethrower coach will kill you.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, Kev, you and played against some heaters.
Yes. That's why I'm throwing everything out at you. I'm telling you.
No, he played with heaters.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
I played with and against them.
So it is hard to that boxing one. That's like rolling the dice.
Why you didn't
that triangle one?
Why you didn't try it?
Dude, that's hard.
Is this something
you
that
they at least try it, bro? You can't just stand
hard,
there and
bro.
score 40 points.
Is it something that they've done all year? If they haven't played,
they ain't ran into Kaden Clark.
But I'm saying, so if they haven't played a boxing one all year, then all of a sudden in the middle of the damn Final Four, you're gonna say do a boxing one.
Okay, cool.
Like in the middle of it, you ain't doing it all year.
Okay,
no constant practice.
I'm gonna meet y'all on that. Cool. You ain't practicing. You can't do it in the middle game. Cool. So then do this. Run at her. As soon as she comes over, who's ever guarding her, who's ever closest, run at her, get the ball out of her hands.
They was
make
trying
somebody
that.
else beat you. It's only a 30-second shot.
They tried that, Kev, but it wasn't possible. Old girl kept giving them the
kept
bill.
going to the basket. How did they try?
What was you watching?
What was I watching?
I know you.
When did they run the ball? When did they get the ball out of hands?
I know Harvey don't get a color signal on their TV, it's black and white. But you still, what were you watching?
Now we got black and white. Now we got black and white. First of all, we got color TVs. Number one.
I ain't gonna apologize.
Number two.
Disrespect.
Number 2. Check this out. I know what I was watching. More so than you know what you was watching when it comes to basketball. Let's go there.
Kevin, they were getting killed. She was going by him, Kevin, like they weren't standing there, bro.
Because they wasn't getting the ball out of her hands. Why is she going to the basket?
In the fourth, I've seen her hit like 4 layups.
You're making my point. You're making my point. She's driving, getting layups. She's the main scorer. The girl is going for 40. She's driving. There's no way she should be driving, getting layups because they should get the ball out of her hands. Y'all making my point.
So
Kevin, that's easier said than done.
When Kobe hit 81 on Toronto, they threw everything in the kitchen sink to him. He just couldn't stop it.
Even Jalen Rose, and that didn't work.
Right?
But he was killing Jay. He had about 70 on Jay.
Yeah,
at least.
But
easily.
I will
I'm
say
just saying, man,
that's like the best commercial in the world where they sitting down and eating
When
dinner.
he was like 81 olives. 81. And Jalen face
The bottom line. Let me speak to the camera.
Where is it at?
America. The bottom line is,
in there.
correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys see any
America.
adjustments to Don Staley's coaching, especially in the second half when this girl had 20 at halftime? You proved that you can't guard her. So did you see any adjustments in the second half, or did you not? Did Iowa's coach game plan work to perfection because she had one and Don Staley didn't? I'm not trying to dog her.
Iowa had the
All
best
I'm saying
player,
is, if
Kevin.
you watch the game, she had the best individual player.
Right.
They had the best individual big man.
But there's a reason no big has ever won without great guard play.
And we talked about that last week.
It never
happened.
I agree with that.
Guard play is
Kareem
key.
can't win without Magic.
Exactly.
He can't win without Oscar.
But that senior guard,
Exactly.
senior guard on South Carolina was balling because they couldn't get the ball to Lil Boston. Without her, they would have got blown.
Yeah, she.
Wasn't Clark?
That one with
What's
the
her name, Clark?
Republicans lashes, she couldn't see.
No, hold
She
on.
made me so mad.
Hold on, man.
Way out here like Snuffleupagus,
Dude,
You talking
man.
about Bill?
Dude,
Yeah, she pissed me
Dude.
off.
She going to the WNBA.
dude, that's
She
all I
should.
saw at the free throw line was the I was like,
Now, her lashes way out here. You could barely see her eyes here.
First of all,
She going to the WNBA.
they need
You
to
talking
outlaw
about,
that.
you talking about the light skin chick?
She definitely
She
need to
going
outlaw
the
that.
WNBA. She
But-
going to the WNBA.
She
But
about
you got-
6'7".
you got to give it up to
And she was the defensive player and couldn't guard her one-on-one.
the women, how they are promoting themselves because the NCAA is not doing it. It's not doing it, but they promoting themselves like the Bayou Barbie. She is the highest grossing NIL female. She making millions for LSU.
LSU gonna get you paid no matter what. Going there for basketball, football really gonna get you paid. It don't matter.
Well, I think at the end of the day, when you look at just women's sports,
All right, we got somebody out here agreeing with Kevin about
Staley
making
Who would agree with
adjustments.
Kevin McGann?
She made no
Somebody that watch
adjustments.
basketball.
I'm not sure who this
Well,
was.
yeah,
If you leave in a comment, we don't know your name, but we appreciate your comment. But if you agreeing with Kev, go lock yourself in the closet.
Appreciate the love.
Wow.
Appreciate somebody that actually watched the game.
Yeah, but it still come down to sometime a great player just
I get that part,
takes
man,
over the
but
game, and it's
come on,
just
man.
nothing you can do. We experienced it in our last game together. Me and Michael Allen just
I was gonna say it was a
dogged
guy
us.
y'all ran into named
Like,
Mike Allen.
he just
but that's
dogged
neither
us.
here nor
Like,
there.
it
That's
was-
neither here nor there. I was in college
Like, we
at the
threw
time.
everything but the kitchen sink at him, and he.
Oh, that's real weak.
Why you
agreeing
pick up
with you.
Ben and throw him at him? Somebody.
None of us.
Well, you
can
know
do
Ben
nothing
wasn't
with
gonna guard him. Ben was too busy to shoot.
him. None of us can do nothing with him. Like
Well,
it was.
Ben
It
wasn't
happened.
gonna
Well,
guard.
in that
Right.
last game, I had 28, so that's,
See,
you need to
that's
give
all
him
he
that.
cared about.
But how many did you shoot from the line? You was like 17 and 19 from the line,
No, those was buckets, bro.
3 and 10 from the field.
Why you ain't take the defensive challenge though?
Because every
Look,
time
when I tell you,
you know what, I ain't got to explain.
Yeah,
myself
when
to
I-
you,
You probably
man.
put that on the money.
but when I tell you,
Well, Damani couldn't shoot. Why not?
when I tell you nothing, watch your mouth now. Well, hold on,
They
fam.
tag
Hold
team
on.
bro.
Y'all Road War, WrestleMania. That's what we WrestleMania weekend. That's what
It
y'all
is
rolling
tonight.
with.
Dude, I'm trying to take
WrestleMania,
up for
that's
you.
our
I'm
road.
saying he probably threw
No,
Mike
it-
Allen on you.
No, but
so
I
he can go down and shoot.
I bring that up just to say that like there are games when just man, when somebody on like that ain't nothing you can do, man. I'm telling you, you can throw everything but the kitchen sink. When somebody in a zone like that,
Yeah,
it ain't you can do.
yeah, Tony Barber, you gonna see this when we get in Vegas.
Oh no!
Tony
All
Barber.
right, let's talk about the men's Final Four.
All right.
We ain't
So-
never gone.
What is your thoughts about the men? Because there's no like bona fide stars. You know what I'm saying? There's no Zions. There's no
Now,
Tatum.
who in the
Tatum.
Final Four? I
You
ain't
know-
know that already.
And that's why you all brought it up earlier about the ratings being down is because there's none of the top dog schools in it.
I don't know.
And
who
then
in it.
People don't know
you
who they
know,
look at.
like people really don't know. I'm pulling for Florida Atlantic. I don't know
I'm
about
not.
nobody else. I like the underdog story. I think it's great for college basketball.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Who else left? Is Florida Atlantic?
UConn and Miami.
Oh, UConn.
Miami, right? And
Florida against San Diego
San
and
Diego
Miami
State.
against UConn.
I don't want Diego State to win because Kawhi played there, didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
he?
Y'all gonna- y'all-
so I damn sure don't want them to win.
Y'all gonna be upset, but it's
Ray
gonna
Allen,
be
of course.
a San Diego State versus UConn final.
Good.
FAU,
Kawhi against Ray Allen.
It's all good.
Kawhi against Ray Allen, baby.
UConn is the best team. However, I will say this. Miami got some scores, bona fide scores that, can get their own shot.
Oh, Miami ain't going to be no easy out.
UConn got one
Miami
guard.
is not going to be easy out.
UConn got a big man that Miami ain't going to be able to stop. But UConn has a guard that's cold. Miami got 3 dudes. We'll see how it goes. So UConn is the better team.
So in this situation, we talk about the ratings being down. Is it better, like in a situation like this, at underdogs, or is it better to have that dynasty, that the UNLV that can undefeated, those undefeated teams?
I think it's
better. Because now you're missing them.
Right.
Well,
is that better?
To answer your question,
it's better now.
Honestly, you need a little bit of both. You will always want, in the NCAA tournament, you always want that darling and that team.
But it's usually just one.
Right. It's
usually just one.
This year we had
Manning's of 1988.
The Loyola, the Loyola
the Davidson.
Yeah,
even though you don't like my boy, Davidson was a darling.
He was trash then.
But you need a little bit of both, and because a lot of fans, they garner towards the bigger schools. They like the Kentuckys, the Kansas, the UNCs, the Dukes, the Arizonas. They love those teams, and that's who they follow all year long. Exactly. And when they're not there, they turn the TV off.
Because even like, I don't think college basketball all year, because those top name schools weren't that good this year. This is rare that this has happened with UNC. Like, none of those teams are really that good.
Me, please don't.
I know it hurt. It hurt. But
it hurts.
Well, UNC didn't make it.
Even the ones that make Kentucky, none of them, Duke, none of them, they weren't that good all year.
Here's the thing.
Really, kid?
No, seriously. But here's the thing. They made it. They just got knocked out. You had Duke, Kentucky, Arizona, Kansas. Like, they all made it. Let's not act like they didn't make it.
Well, Kansas and Arizona were good, even though they just got knocked out. They went home early. But
I'm gonna tell y'all what really happened. If you go back to the beginning of the tournament, teams were misseeded. Duke was put at a 5. They should have been a 3. They won the ACC tournament. These FAUs, the UConns,
but they were average all year though. Duke had to went on a run late in the year.
They got again. So did Marquette. And Marquette got knocked out.
We'll go back to last week's conversation when we talked about the NIL deals, making kids that can hoop are going to hoop. So I don't kind of agree with the misseeding thing. I think the seeding was right.
No, it wasn't right.
It was right.
It wasn't right. It wasn't right because I'm gonna tell you this: Kansas should have been the number one
more
overall
parity.
seed, not Alabama.
It's more parity.
Yes. So if you have to answer the question, I think the NCAA is loving what's going on now because more teams are getting exposure. The ratings are down because you brought this up. The ratings are down simply because people are tuning in the Final Four and they don't see Duke, Kansas, Arizona. They don't see them. So they're not watching it. But the true basketball people that follow college basketball that watch March Madness, they're loving it because, like Damani said, he want to see FAU, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's people in America like, man, I'm rooting for this team, man. Like, right? So it's new, it's fresh. You want to see it.
But speaking on the ratings being down, I think what you're looking at is, like, for instance, like we UNC fans, all three of us UNC fans, none of us went to UNC, right? You got Duke fans that didn't go to Duke. Mm-hmm. The only people that's really rooting for these teams hard that's in this Final Four are alumni.
Right.
Like really, they don't have that outside fan base to where where people where people UConn is probably the biggest one left. Yeah. But they don't have that. They don't have that fan base that's big enough to where the whole world is going to watch and excite. Like it's really no excitement for this Final Four because there's no. No, it's true college basketball fans. True college basketball fans and alumni.
That's going to hit because Kentucky got the number 1, 2. They got Dillon. They got some
but let me tell you this.
They got some dogs.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this, that all the big programs that's doing the one and done kids, ones that's suffering. If you don't see the one and done, and now they got to go back into the recruitment and now the transfer. They can't build as quickly because they're one and done. But these kids that got these 4-year starters that's hooping out and balling, those are the teams that are moving forward.
And Miami is a perfect example. Miami got seniors.
For real. Yeah. They going back to balls. Yeah. Kyler Perry going to have to coach next year because he got the 1, 2, and I think 3 recruit coming to Kentucky. Let me tell you something. Hey, He gonna have to coach because Calipari can recruit, but he ain't no X's and O guy.
He ain't never been an X's and O's guy.
So,
never been.
But he's gonna have, but with them guys coming, man, just so pure skill.
What about your boy going to Rutgers?
Yeah, I ain't understand that.
Who?
What's his name?
That's who's going to Rutgers.
Who?
That's Calipari going to Rutgers, ain't he?
Who?
No, I'm talking about
who just got hired at Rutgers. It's Patino. It's Patino.
No, he went to St. John's.
He went to St. John's.
St. John's. I'm sorry, St. John's.
St. John's ain't been nothing since the left hand.
Chris Mullen, baby.
Right.
Your cousin.
My Caucasian cousin.
Mark Axon Jackson.
What's up?
Right. So that program will be on national TV about 3 or 4 games, guaranteed.
St. John's in New York. All their players, just like Chicago, don't play there.
But those are facts.
but he goes back into the Big East. He's gonna recruit.
Yeah.
Like you talk about Patino all you want.
You give him about 4 years. You're gonna be talking about something.
Nobody recruits better than that dude in Kentucky.
No, I agree with that.
No.
Nobody's more.
No.
Than that dude from Kentucky.
I'm sorry. Kansas can get a GFY, but Bill Self.
Bill Self was good. He's a great recruiter too, but he can't get the players. He get them 4s and 3s. Calipari still on them 5s and 4s. The only problem is he can't never get them to play their full potential.
But you know what? You got to give Bill Self a lot of credit. Even his short time at Illinois, he got them to the national championship game.
He would have brought them though.
Like
he would have recruited at Illinois.
Yeah, like Self can recruit and he can
recruit,
coach,
man.
And he can coach. Self can coach and he can recruit.
I'll say his team, coaching team.
He makes adjustments
because he has a strong coaching team.
Well,
no matter where he goes.
When he was out, whatever type of ailment he had, they couldn't coach.
Well, I think I'm gonna say that was actually really not an ailment. I think he was suspended.
He should have been
on the low
for
what he did last year.
At the beginning of the year.
What he did last year. Hey,
he got suspended at the
all
beginning
of
of the year.
All of a sudden, man,
it
just seemed kind of odd.
No, let's talk facts.
I need to send Vincent and Stabler.
He got suspended at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So he didn't get suspended. They let him stop.
I don't know, man. It just seemed kind of odd.
So they're going to lie he was in the hospital?
Who we got today? Final Four. Who we watching Monday?
UConn and I just told you UConn and San Diego State.
Miami and FAU.
You crazy.
I'm going UConn.
You watching UConn and San Diego State.
UConn FAU.
FAU ain't winning.
I'm going underdog. Man.
I don't normally agree with Kev, but Miami 3-piece guards, man, that's buckets. A 3-piece spicy with a biscuit on the side, baby.
They can get buckets.
They get buckets, and if you guard play is heavy, so if they are hot and they own, it's gonna be a tough night.
But big boy, the big African dude at UConn gonna kill them. They don't have nobody to stop them.
But guess what?
Nobody.
You got the 3 guards. If they go to the paint,
so now
he's on the bench.
You're gonna get him at 5.
He's on the bench.
Who was the last dominant big man to win the NCAA?
How about AD?
Dude out of UConn.
No, I'm taking
dude out of UConn.
You looking at AD, Greg Odom?
Odom was terrible.
No.
AD wasn't no dominant big man.
They won?
I ain't gonna say he was dominant.
Ohio State?
AD won the championship though.
Odom and
dominant big man. Okafor from UConn.
AD won the championship.
Yeah, he did. But so did Okafor.
But they had great guard play.
They had great guard
play. They had great guard play that year.
AD only averaged 13 points a game.
Right, he wasn't dominant. Okafor from UConn.
And B ain't gonna win like he ain't gonna win in the pro.
Hey, somebody said UMass with Canby.
Damn, Marcus.
Somebody showing their age.
Yeah, somebody definitely showing their age.
I think that's Will Wheat out there, and we all know that Will Wheat is old. Will Wheat out there.
Showing your age, brother.
Showing your age.
Marcus Canby.
I say Okafor was the last dominant.
Purvis.
Dominant.
Never nervous Purvis, as somebody just said. Hey,
Will
Wheat.
That's a good one too.
Chime in. Are you out there with that cocoa bean number 5 right now?
Even with those bigs, it was they had good guards.
You got to have great guards.
UConn got one. They got what's his name? Hawkins. They got one.
Yeah, that's 1 against 3.
I said that earlier. Miami got 3 dogs.
Now let's talk about FAU because we was talking this backstage before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the boosters and alumni have gotten together and have created a pot of money.
Should have made it.
It went from 65,000 to 300,000 as they have kept winning, and that pot is going to be split between all the players at the end of the season, with the one caveat that you got to come back next year.
Yeah, you got to stay.
Now, how do y'all feel about that?
Keep the money, Lamar.
I think that's a good thing. I think they shouldn't have went public with it. But I think
somebody leaked it, you know it.
They shouldn't have been public. But I think it was a good thing. That's a good thing to entice. Hey man, don't hit this portal. We got something special. Here's something that y'all earn. But I'm gonna tell you,
don't pull a Caleb Love.
Man, don't man.
I think
they strongly advise Caleb Love to look at the portal.
Yeah. They pushed him.
It wasn't his decision.
They pushed him in the portal.
Yeah, right.
They really shoved
the first player to get pushed into the portal.
Strongly advised.
Look, I don't know if this is setting the right standard in college sports. You got the NIL thing going, that's great. Transfer portal.
Just the alumni though.
When you start throwing that out there, and if more smaller schools are going to start having to do that, everybody's alumni is not that strong.
That's true.
To raise that type of money now, and I think this was the biggest fear of the NCAA, even with the whole NIL thing, was now it's all about money. You know what I mean?
It always has.
About money.
It's only been for the university, but for the players, it's about money for the players.
Time out.
On the college level,
it was always about money for the NCAA. How come it can't be all about money for the
right?
students?
But that's what.
But you're right. What you're saying.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're not a professional. Professionals play for money.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Professionals play for money. You're absolutely right. You're not a professional. But college sports is a business, particularly basketball and football. We can stop with all this student athlete. You are an athlete student. And I'm going to tell you why. When you get there, the first thing you do, basketball-wise, you in conditioning, your practice ain't till October 15th. Everything you do after Labor Day has to do with basketball. You have to give your teachers a schedule to let them know when you're not getting there or when you're not going to be in town, right? Mm-hmm. You have to do everything, whether it's conditioning, practice at 6 a.m, go to class, practice after in the evening. Everything is basketball. I'm just speaking basketball.
Gotcha.
This is a business. You are expected to be on the bus, the plane, the practice field, the game, more so than your classes, bro.
The business
This
side,
is a business, and they're making money off you. So now that the kids are making money, all of a sudden it's out of control, and we need to do something about it. But it was always money for you.
I'm not saying
as
that.
the NCAA.
So here's what you're looking at. Professional sports it's a small level, 30-some teams, right? How many how many universities out there?
It's about
thousands.
It's thousands.
So
now that the kids are getting money.
No, I'm asking. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying now that thousands of schools, and now everybody's gonna have to try to pull and compete on the money side. Now you're gonna open Pandora's box into something a whole lot deeper when you start. Right, when you start talking about young kids, 17-year-olds playing for $50,000. Like, I think they split could be close to like 50,000, something ridiculous if they end up winning. So that's the standard you're going to set? That's the standard you're setting in college sports.
But here's the thing. College sports is a business, man. Let's stop acting like it ain't. Like, if you flunk out, then they just move on with the next recruit. Don't give a about you. This is a business. And it's reality, man. It's tough, and people are going to say, nah, man, it ain't really like that. Why do you think the NCAA is upset about the NIL? We got to do something about it. Let's talk about it. But now that the kids are getting money.
University is about more than just the athletes, too. You got thousands of students there. Like, come on now. It ain't just about
money. How do you think you get new facilities, new uniforms, and all that? That's based on what the football team is bringing in. That's based on what the basketball team is bringing in. Some of these baseball teams are perennial powerhouses.
So the money,
you don't think they bring in money? You don't think, bro, the athletes are bringing the money into the schools, bro.
The program brings the money in.
Well, the alumni help out the boosters and all that. But what I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying. I'm not particularly saying any particular sport. What I'm saying is sports, the athletes bring in a lot of money outside of the community, outside of the alumni.
Yeah, but
the athletes bring in a lot of money to that school. And let's say I'm a 4-year senior. Than any other regular student walking around the damn school.
That's just what happens. The same way everyone's complaining about the NBA because now these athletes treat themselves like a brand, right? These athletes are individual brands. They all treat themselves in that way.
Yes.
Now we're going to bring that to the college level
because it's always been a business. Let's not chip
off.
It's
not I'm not talking about the overall the team or the program. Now I'm saying we're going to make this an individual thing to where now the college athletes make themselves a brand. Now we're going to start complaining about that.
Well, why are you complaining about it?
Okay,
the same way you complain about NBA.
So we got a comment out here to respond to you. The universities need to have a friend of the program. You've always heard that in these sports ways.
Oh, they always have one.
Organize a group of businesses in the area that will be willing to have athletes be ambassadors for their business. The whole premise on this NIL. Now, you see that the NCAA has gone to the Supreme Court because they want their hands in some of this money because they're not touching not a damn dime of this NIL.
Right.
And you know the Shield and the NCAA are the biggest gangsters when it comes to sports.
Right.
Now,
but the students ain't touching none of the money they done made off the students. Right.
Now, I will say the NCAA had a chance when them players got together. You had players from Northwestern, that lawsuit that they had and all that. They had a chance, but they put up the hand and said, no, we ain't doing this. Now comes the NIL that stepped in. So now, well, we need to know you had your shot, NCAA. You had your shot to make good on this, right?
They did, and you're absolutely right. They dropped the ball on that. But when you start trying to make 17 and 18-year-olds professionals, we've seen what it's done to the NBA. We've seen it, and now
but you treat them as professionals, though.
I don't think they get the professional treatment. Just like so, a lot
of thing they ain't got is
so especially the bigger programs, they feel like, yeah, we boost who you are because you put that Duke uniform on. You all of a sudden you become a little bigger.
Yes.
Than what you would have Duke, yes. Carolina, Kentucky, like Alabama football, Ohio State football, Michigan football, all these different programs. You become a little bigger when when you individualize college sports. It could do a lot of damage. So I want to see where it's going to go.
Well, you have to also put some blame into social media. No, social media has a part in here because when you get the NILs, you don't get a commercial or nothing. You're not doing a commercial,
right?
But you see all these kids that on social media where their presence is known, and now that's boosting up this company because if you look at the TikToks, the Facebook, the Instagrams, where they are talking about the products, like the Bayou Barbie.
Barbie, right.
She is on every social media.
She's promoting herself.
She's promoting herself, but in the background, she got the company or whatever. Yeah. She's promoting that, and the players that she bring it to, they have on the gear or the products or whatever. Yeah. Social media is taking away the commercials and all of that.
Social media drives damn near everything because they base it on how many followers you got.
But that's
you got 1 million followers, you're gonna get a check.
She's broadcasting.
Don't care what you do.
Yeah. Whoever she's
you got 1 million followers.
She has
somebody gonna
too.
get a
That's
check.
part of her NIL deal. But let me say this: everybody don't get an NIL deal.
No, they don't.
So that's like every athlete, the 12th man got an NIL.
Exactly.
Deal. They don't. So now that FAU put it out there, like we finna take care of every player. All y'all got to do is win. We're gonna take care of every player. That's the alumni doing that. The alumni can do what they want. So that's not the precedent. That's no other school got to do.
But is it setting?
That's the alumni doing it.
Is it setting it though?
It's starting to put a precedence out there. Like,
well, the NCAA been doing it for years. Look, man.
But you can compare this to Cleveland, giving that guaranteed money to Deshaun. Now everybody want this.
Yeah, you
said
the market.
We always talk about setting the market, and this right here is
because that's their alumni.
This right here is an alley-oop to setting the market.
No, you're not setting the market.
To changing the way we used to do. The normal thing that we grew up on. This is how we changing and moving into something that's going to be totally different that we have never seen.
Here's
before.
why you're not setting the market, because that's one school's alumni.
That's all it takes.
That's not everybody.
It only takes one.
All it takes is one.
Kevin,
it only takes one.
Just like Cleveland. Now you got Lamar wanting guaranteed money And everybody is like, oh, they need to go ahead and give it. You one of those people.
Can we talk about that?
You one of those people. Go ahead. I'll throw you in. Let's go. But before you go there, I want to give you some props on something you said backstage about all these kids in college that's 18, 19 getting this bag. Are they filing their taxes properly?
Well, their mama's got to do that.
Well, I hope so.
That's where their parents come in.
I hope they got an accountant.
That's what they pay
because the financial side can come back to bite them.
I'm talking about. I hope they got an accountant, not the one that my man sent for Mike Tyson's trial. Wow. A real accountant.
Before you go, I want to give a shout out to our resident DJ, DY Nemesis in the house, SmokeFellas resident DJ. Say what's up to the people, DY.
Hey Ben, I'm gonna let him get in here on my spot when we take a break. And missed him last week.
And then also even like now you're gonna make these calls. They are already targets. Now you putting that bread in their pocket. Now you when I'm talking about targets, all these scandals and all this. When you start putting money into the game.
No, John Moran, huh?
You know what I mean? Yeah. You're asking 18, 19-year-olds to be responsible people with $100,000, $1 million right away. Everybody's not mature enough to handle that.
Daughters out there lining up.
They lining them up. They
daughters lining up.
So now, if you enter in this world as a parent and your kid is going to college, and this is the world we live in, this is on you as a parent to hire the right people, or at least advise the right people to be around your child, because this is what he's entering. That's on the parents.
But Ken, what if the parents are coming? The parents are coming from backgrounds that don't know nothing about this.
Well, then educate yourself. Find out, because this is what your kid is leaving home entering. This is on the parents to educate their kids. If you're about to get this much money, you're a star player. Your alumni is giving you this much money just for winning in the NCAA tournament. Then you need to hire somebody that helps.
Act like parents don't talk to their kids, and kids still make bad decisions.
What I'm saying is,
every bad decision a kid making
got $50,000 the first time in the NCAA tournament. Okay, you have to then hire somebody.
Kevin, if they gave you $200,000 in Harvey, man, you'd be living in a cold ass crib. Get the hell out of here.
They gave me $200,000, I wouldn't be in Harvey. That's number one.
We don't know that.
Number two. You got to hire somebody. You got to hire somebody for these kids that you know is walking in. Right. Hey, Hula, I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that.
Hey,
watch your my man Hula Harvey, man.
Watch your man. Hey, listen,
but you know what, man? I like Lamar. We got the same namesake, but he's starting to bother me.
Latrell.
Be cool. It's Lamar. He really starting to bother me, man, because Lamar, you should have had the agent instead of your mama there originally. Now you want to trade out because it's too much going on right there.
Now you got the business
like
man.
Lamar, the owner still can't talk to you. Yep. What are we doing here, Lamar?
He ain't got nobody to talk to.
First off,
he can't approach the team.
Did you hear? Did you see what? First of all, Lamar, if you happen to see us, stay the fuck off Twitter, because when Atlanta owner came out and made us answer the question that was asked to him, why he was not in Lamar Jackson. He was not in he wasn't in. His team is not in the talks to try to get Lamar, but they were in the talks to try to get Deshaun. And he answered the question, why? Then your boy get on Twitter. I was hurt, and if I would have played, and boy, shut up.
Deion Sanders tried to save him.
Shut up,
man. Told him.
Well, how one guy that like to talk gonna save another guy? Stop with the coach prime, because he like a fake prophet. He like a fake prophet. And I'm gonna get on him next week. And I'm going to tell him a new ass.
Well, you might as well get on him right now since you're talking about it.
I'm sick of that.
But when I told y'all that when he first moved, y'all looked at me like I was crazy. Now you want to jump on the bandwagon.
I said that.
You remember I said
the handwriting on the wall with the fake prophet. But anyway, you're right. Lamar Jackson, he got to do better. But that's their generation of money. You said it.
It is.
They stay on Twitter. Lamar, you stuck now. If you're going to have to either call a bluff and not play next season, or take it to 32 million.
The problem is
I hope you don't do that.
Comments like, and let me see if y'all agree with this. Comments like Arthur Blank, comments that they're personally telling him in the Baltimore meeting room. it's comments that he would have never heard personally had he had representation. He would have told somebody, get the deal done. All that personal stuff that he's listening to verbatim from Arthur Blank, verbatim from the Baltimore GM, he would have never heard personally. The problem is you represent yourself. So they telling you the real. Bruh, we can't guarantee that. You get hurt too much. And he's taking it personal. Like, wait a minute.
He don't have to play. Lamar,
don't step out there.
Lamar, don't play, sit out.
That's gonna kill him, man.
Let it kill him. You better stand.
But it'll kill him because
if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything.
Hold on.
You got to.
First of all, my grandmother used to say that. Watch him out.
But
look, real talk. If they made a point on this, and I didn't realize this. They made a point on this, and I didn't realize this. If he sits out, does not sign this tender, and he sits out, he doesn't accrue another year. He loses a year, which means they can tag him again. He can't get out. He doesn't accrue a year by not signing the tender. If he signs the tender and fakes an injury, he gets the year. If he does not sign, if he sits out, he doesn't accrue the year. So that means he's stuck for another 2 years.
How did the running back in Pittsburgh do it then?
Keyshawn said,
he sat out and lost
I signed the deal, and I'll show up to training camp.
He's the quarterback.
Look, here's when it all comes down to with Lamar Jackson. It's just showing how powerful the shield is. When them 32 billionaires get together and say this ain't happening, we're gonna shut this down.
Well, Virginia,
they gonna shut it. I'm just saying, when they get together and say they're gonna shut it down, they shut it down. I've never seen a young franchise quarterback in his prime have this many problems.
He's been blackballed.
We're getting a deal. And even, going back to the Colin Kaepernick thing, when they get together, and that's why, especially in NFL, you gotta have an agent. You gotta have somebody that got relationships with people, somebody that can kind of guide you through this, because you're dealing with some heavy hitters. And I don't think Lamar and his mom and them really realize it. And here's the bad part about it. You look at the reputation of the Baltimore Ravens organization, which they have a great reputation. Yeah. They've always been known as one of the top-notch organizations. The players love them, the coaches, everybody. No, he's still within. He's not the GM.
He's like ambassador.
Right, he's like ambassador. But you still had a Ray Lewis's and people like that. Yeah. You've never heard this kind of stuff happening in Baltimore. Mm-hmm.
You've never heard this type of stuff happening to a quarterback.
Right. But especially with the Baltimore Ravens, like that organization is not a shit show like some of these other, like Washington and Cleveland. All that. Like, and Cleveland and Houston.
Hey, we got a user. We got somebody out here saying hello to us from the Lou. We can't see your name. Type in your name so we can give you a shout out because you from the Lou, and we give a lot of love to the Lou
and we coming back, baby.
Yeah, and I want to also give a shout to one of our diva leads that's up in the building, Linnell. Linnell, what's up, baby? Say what's up to the people.
Yeah, so
oh boy,
look, man, Lamar. I don't know where this is gonna end. I don't know what's about to happen. But
hey, that's pineapple.
But this is
pineapple. What up, pineapple?
What's going on, girl? But this is pretty serious, and hopefully it doesn't hurt. Like other quarterbacks coming up, which I don't think it will. But
oh no, they're gonna pay that. They're gonna pay the other.
Yeah. Well, then,
they're gonna pay them.
Burrow and them ain't about to go through this.
It's all comes down.
Ain't about to go through
It
this.
all comes down to that fully guaranteed money.
That guarantee.
That's not happening.
That word right there
it's not happening.
Is a word that the Shield want to take out of all conversations. Guaranteed.
That's how they keep.
No, you gotta have guaranteed.
That's why the NFL. That's how NFL
you're right.
Control.
Fully guaranteed money.
But you're not gonna have
so think about this. That's how the NFL keeps control. Look at the NBA. How the control the NBA is.
But I'm gonna say this.
NBA is not control. NFL ain't letting that happen.
I'm gonna bounce this off y'all because I heard Bart Scott said this yesterday or the day before when
He's a clown.
I'm gonna tell you this. He said if his number is 230 million, he wants to either be above. He wants to be either in between Kyler Murray and Watson, right. Or he wants to be above. What you do is you make it a long-term contract, spread the money out. He gets his 230, spread it out. He just doesn't get it up front.
But the thing is, they offered him 133,
which is disrespectful. But hold on. He said the way Patrick Mahomes did it, he got a big deal, and they were able to spread out. He was like, you don't think, and I had to think about this. He said, when Burrow, Hurts, and Herbert get paid, he said, you don't think Patrick Mahomes going back to the table with 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs?
Yes, but it's going to be time for his contract because his contract is
he signed a 10-year deal.
But
because you
it's
spread
3 years old. It's going to be 3 years old when
I know, but he's still under contract. But what I'm saying is, because they made it a long-term deal, you can renegotiate the deal in between it. You still get your guaranteed money, but you can renegotiate.
I'll tell you what the caveat is.
That's what he said.
The caveat to that is you have to be balling. You gotta be playing. You can't be Colin Kaepernick and your skills and diminish.
Okay, so do Lamar?
You know that, right?
Do Lamar Jackson ball out every time he play? Yes or no?
For 14 weeks,
regardless. Does he ball out? Do they win with him playing? Do they lose
for 14 weeks?
Yes or no?
For 14 weeks.
So that means you give him a long-term deal. Just do a 10-year from the jump so he get his long-term money. You can go back to the make him renegotiate it, whatever. You guarantee his money. You spread it out. You just don't give him, just say everything is guaranteed.
Let me ask you this question. I'm playing devil's advocate. What has
Go ahead.
What has Lamar won?
Whoa. Well, that's a good one there, Bernard.
One playoff game and MVP.
He's won one playoff. Okay, let's go there. He's won one playoff game and one MVP. He has not won a Super Bowl.
So, Bill, what do you think he deserves?
However, every time he doesn't play, looks like he lose.
Because the whole offense is based around him.
So let's not do he ain't won no Super Bowl. Let's not do that.
I'm just saying.
Don't do that, man.
I'm just asking a question.
Don't do that, man.
I just asked you a question. So now when
all these quarterbacks get
Joe
paid
Burrow's contract come up and they say, what has Joe done?
He won no MVP.
He ain't won no MVP.
He went to the Super Bowl.
But he's been to the bowl.
So
he's been to the playoffs. Except for the year that he got hurt.
Lamar.
Okay.
Lamar, I'd rather have an
He's
MVP.
won playoff games consistently.
That MVP
consistently.
Don't do that. That Super Bowl you don't win it.
Don't do that. That man won the MVP the second year? He won the MVP the second year?
Yep.
Don't do that. When he don't play, they don't win. Don't do that, man.
Don't be disrespectful, Box.
Get a man his money. It's time to pay him. Get a man his money. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Box.
Yeah, Box.
And then they complaining.
Don't be disrespectful.
And then they complaining about, okay, well, he runs, he can get hurt. The 2 times he got hurt was in the pocket.
Wait a minute, Sly. Hold on.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Your Kiki has been amazing today.
They got to stop.
You got to stop somewhere, man. And you right next to me. We got 30 years in this, and you
It got to stop. You're right.
You like Tim Repeat Smith.
Whoa.
Turncoat.
Repeat.
So
Jack
now,
Jenkins, baby.
So if
Jenkins.
MVP is going to be if MVP is going to set the standard, then Aaron Rodgers just win his last 2 years.
Right. So his 50, he needs 70 years.
Right.
He won the Super Bowl back when the Lakers was back-to-back with Kobe Bryant and Paul Gasol.
Okay,
last Super Bowl he won.
So what are them two
and the Bears
league
MVPs?
What are them 2 league MVPs?
What
are them 2 league MVPs done for the Packers?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
See,
Nothing
it's
too much.
Nothing.
It's amazing to me that it's time to pay Lamar, and now we throwing out everything.
You act like they not trying to pay him.
Right.
Yeah, like they're not trying to pay him. They just not trying to. They just
not
not trying to do a fully guaranteed deal. Like it gotta come to some.
To understand.
You gotta come in the middle somewhere with it. And the fact that he got the tag. We can go out there and get a deal. Somebody could give up 2 first-round picks for him, whatever it is. You put him out there, and no one has made an offer.
Because the Ravens
no one has made
an
offer.
Match it. Teams know the Ravens are going to match it. All the Ravens want to do is set the market for him, and then the Ravens are going to match it. Everybody knows that. So, secondly, he can't go negotiate with teams because they ain't hollering at his boy in Florida. You ain't even verified.
So if you
don't have an agent.
So if you the Washington Commanders, you don't make that. You don't put that out there.
Washington Commanders. Let's say this. Because he's representing himself, he has to literally call 32 other teams himself. He doesn't have representation.
Well, he's not calling 32 because 32 don't need a quarterback. But you just got to have one team.
What I'm saying is, let's say he had an agent. They could have handled this at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that at the combine the Ravens were saying, "Hey, dog, y'all gonna set the market? We ain't gonna do nothing but match it." So teams like, "Whoa, well, okay, well, we ain't doing that." Because the Ravens ain't gonna do nothing but match it. But all the Ravens want to do,
but still throw it out there. But still throw it out there because right now he's so fed up with the organization. It's a chance he'd be like, "No, I want out of here."
Well, he already said. He just said his goodbyes to the fans.
Well, fellas.
He already go.
We need to go ahead and pay some bills. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about this Lamar thing and how we can put a bow on it and get this cat paid.
You got it.
Sean, take us to commercial, baby.
That you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, man, we back, man. Hey, check it out, man. I told you we had our resident DJ, DY Nemesis, in the house, man. So he's stepping in for Angry Man. The police came and they wanted to talk to him outside. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Hit and run.
Some Willis Reed fans.
Yeah, the Willis.
Tied his ass up.
So they handcuffing him right now. Oh, they tased him. Okay. So we gonna keep the show going. DY gonna step in. DY, say what's up to the people, man.
Man, what's up, everybody? Glad to be back on the show. I appreciate Lester from 227 giving up his seat. Opportunity.
Lester from 227.
That wasn't Lester Jenkins. Whoever he was, I appreciate giving up the seat. Y'all know how we do. SmokeFellas in the building.
I forgot about Lester.
Why
so you woke up with the shits today. You woke up with the shits today, man. Hey, man, so we talking about Lamar Jackson, man, on all the drama that has been associated with him trying to get a new deal. He want that hot guaranteed money. He want to be either the top or right in between Deshaun and Kyler Murray. That's the thing. Now, we know he doesn't have an agent. He's a Twitter god right now. So, I mean, what needs to be done for him to get this deal done, and so they can move on to what we really want is them playing football with the Baltimore Ravens? DY, I'll let you start off, man. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is he's not going to play for the Baltimore Ravens. Unfortunately, I got a feeling that he's going to end up trying to sit out this year. In order for this deal to get done like everybody wants it to, he will have to hire an agent. There's no way around it. He's got no negotiating skills. There's no ace up his sleeve. There's no bargaining chips that he has in his control other than his ability to play football, which is not enough to negotiate a high price deal. You know, we talking about $200 million or more. We're not talking about an $80 million contract over 4 years. You know, those are the type of deals. You see Roquan. Roquan didn't get an agent, right? And what was his deal for? $100 million, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, $100 million.
Different position, though.
Kind of chump change. And he didn't get all that guaranteed.
Right.
Kind of chump change compared to what Lamar feels what he's worth or what he's asking for. So if you ask me, if he does not get an agent, I don't feel like the deal is going to get done.
Lefty.
It's gonna take some. He's gonna have to swallow his pride, man. Really, at some point. Like right now, it's a stalemate. I think Baltimore will be more than willing to maybe up what they initially offered him. You know, maybe trying to come to some medium. But I think at this point, he's gonna have to swallow his pride, or like DY said, like it has to come to some type of closure, man. So I'm with you. I don't see him. I don't know how you go back to that organization. I really don't, but I don't know, man. It's a wait and see. But with nobody else in the mix, nobody else in the mix for him.
So, kid, before you answer, I'll throw out there the reason that Montgomery left the Bears. He got 8.5 guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Right now he's the as far as running backs, he's the only one with guaranteed money right now because Detroit laid that out for him to get him.
Right.
No, Christian McCaffrey got guaranteed money.
He already had his contract.
Christian McCaffrey is the highest paid, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He got his bag and he doing what he's doing. He on the contract, but just as of right now, contracts this year for running backs, he the only one with guaranteed. He the only one with guaranteed money. That's why he chose to lead the Bears.
I think Lamar either has to hire an agent or hire a lawyer, something like Ray Allen did in the NBA. Hire a lawyer, go over your contract. If you got a certain number, the lawyer or the agent will meet it halfway. He can then fire the lawyer or the agent after that. But to get this deal done, regardless is with another team, because he can't even meet with other teams right now outside of him. He doesn't have representation.
Yeah, they put the bosh on that.
So what you do is you hire, swallow your pride, because you need this deal done, brother. You don't want to sit out a year, forfeit $30 million, get fined. Like, well, they can't. I don't think they can fine him because he hasn't signed the tender, right?
Right.
He got to sign it for them to start.
He just ain't gonna get no.
He just ain't gonna get no money. Okay, cool. So hire an agent, get the deal done, regardless if it's with another team. Because I'm with y'all. I don't know how you can walk back in that locker room. Like he didn't say his goodbyes to the fans. Like I don't know how you clean that up. So if it's even with another team, then you hire representation. You have someone represent you. Stay out of it. You right now, get the deal, and go about your business. And that I would hate. He done came too far not to sit out, but I hate him. Come on, man, don't sit out, brother.
Yeah, and I think DY made a great point about when you're trying to negotiate those type of deals, like quarterback deals. 200 million, you're talking 45, 50 million a year. When you're trying to negotiate those type of deals, you need somebody experienced in that room, somebody who have relationships with owners and things like that to kind of, to help out with that.
I'm wondering if he has, when he go to these meetings, because I'm sure that there has been several meetings with the Ravens organization. Does he have an attorney sitting with him? Because remember who started this whole wave of doing that was Ray Allen. Ray Allen started that where he had a lawyer with him. Yes. And all right, Ray Allen wasn't a dumb cat. He was garnering movie deals and all kinds of stuff when he got game, all of that. So he got rid of his agent, but he had an attorney with him that helped things flow a little bit better. Is he in that room solo with them, him and his mama, or does he have an agent, not an agent, but an attorney where
I don't think
it's some talking, and because something is wrong with this whole picture, man.
But we can't, not look at the Ravens organization too, because they had a time to lock that up, no different than what Philly is about to do with Jalen Hurts. And he came off that MVP, whatever it takes, whether 2 years, 3 years, whatever, where he's eligible, before Watson got his deal. The Ravens could have locked him up. They chose not to. Mm-hmm. So let's not act like the Ravens ain't dropped the ball on this either. And that was when Ozzie was still there.
That is true.
Now you let the Watson contract happen. You knew coming down the line, this is going to be a problem. So, but on his behalf, you got to get some type of representation, bro, or they're not going to even holler at you.
I want to take this one step further. When he goes in for meetings with Under Armour, Doritos, any type of thing that he's bargaining with his brand, is he walking into those meetings alone or with his mama, as you say?
That's a good question. That's a hell of a question.
I mean, how far?
You said how is he getting his deals? Period.
Well, exactly. How far?
Because he doesn't have a lot out there.
How far is he willing to take this? And it's obviously he don't have a lot out there. You talking about a guy you mentioned second year in the league, won the MVP.
Dynamic.
Not the most articulate fella, but he's
not handsome.
Or handsome or style.
So you saying he like Lefty?
That articulate part plays a lot too. Particularly if you represent yourself, the articulate part plays a lot too.
But maybe it would be pure irony if he's negotiating those deals with an agent or a lawyer, whatever it takes, but he's not willing to do the same for this mega deal that they put on the table for him.
And the whole thing with a attorney, I get that, but attorneys don't negotiate deals, right? They just there for the
paperwork,
the legal. They there for the legal. Yeah, they there for all the little legal lingo in there and make sure everything is all the, the I's and dots, T's across all that. They just there for that.
True.
Like if you, hell, I'm a Law and Order SVU attorney all day, but if I get in trouble, I'm calling me a damn real attorney going there with me. You know what I mean? I'm taking somebody in there that really know what they doing. Stop putting my business out there on this podcast.
He's been down this road, so he's speaking from the heart.
I don't care what you think you know, but when you talk like DY said, I didn't think about that. That's a great point, man. Even he doesn't have a lot of endorsements and things like that going for him. And that's what another thing agents can do. They have relationships with these, with the owners, with these companies, companies. Does he even have a manager? Like, I don't know, does he even have a business manager?
Somebody got to be managing his money now. He ain't just out.
No, I mean, some type of business manager. I don't know. It got to be somebody, man. You can't think you can go in there into these big corporations and take your country ass up in there and think they just gonna give you whatever you ask for. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
He just got to bite the bullet on that. That's all.
Fire
to do that till you get
to
do what you got to do.
How them sisters is representing Jalen Hurts?
Man, I've said that before.
Yeah, hire them.
Cause man, they some bad sisters, boy. They some bad sisters, literally too. But
they fine, yeah, and they fine. Yeah. But get a sisters they shot, or give a brother a shot. I mean, whatever it is, whatever you feel like you got to do, but you got to have somebody who that's their expertise.
Yeah,
and they're good at negotiating. Like that's a skill set. Negotiation is not easy. We know we do business with people.
Right.
It's not easy negotiating, and we ain't talking about pennies, man. Like this is big money.
Quarterback money.
It's big money.
It's big money, man. And I mean, Lefty, you write probably once a month, and I'll give you that.
I was right the last 2 weeks, though, but go ahead.
It's another month. It's April.
Ain't that a bit?
So
okay, got technical.
Yeah. Cool. So
April 1st.
It is. So we'll be talking about this, man, more so next week because some more shenanigans gonna come out. But what about the debacle that's going on in Boston with the Patriots and Bill Belichick, man? What is really going on, man? Because he came out and said, look at my past record, and everybody that has played for him that's on analysts will ever say he don't worry about what was done in the past. He always worried about right now. And for him to say, oh, look at my past record, what the hell?
Y'all ready for me to tell you what's going on? This is Bill Belichick's last year in New England.
Ooh.
If he doesn't make the playoffs, if he doesn't fill this roster out right, now he did right by going to get an actual offensive coordinator for Mac Jones because they drafted the man early.
So Kraft gonna say that's it.
Said, bro, ever since Brady left, we've been terrible. I left everything up to you. You run it, right? I'm the owner. I approve what you do and all that, right? But you ain't winning.
They went to the playoffs
one time and got trounced. So you ain't. So it shows me that Tom Brady and the owner can look at it like this: my boy, Tom Brady, obviously was the reason we were winning. Let him not make the playoffs this year. He's not gonna fire him. They're gonna agree to go their separate ways. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, now you're talking a power struggle at the top, right?
Don't look like they're on the same page.
You're talking about the owner in Kraft and the coach in Belichick. Yeah, he has the resume and all that. But if you look at these last couple of years, and I'm just going to point to last year, the fact that you have a second-year quarterback and you give him a defensive coordinator as a defensive guy to be his offensive coordinator says either Belichick's getting senile or he really don't like Mac Jones. It's one or the other.
I would take the latter.
He really ain't feeling Mac Jones because there's no way you don't bring in as all the great coordinators that Bill Belichick has had to make that type of move never sat right with me.
Yep.
Like that don't sit right with me. It's either he not feeling Mac Jones like that or it got to be something.
Well,
you set him up to fail.
When he decided to have a defensive coordinator do the offense, his cockiness based on his years of experience and everything that he actually has done, he said, "Oh, I'll make this work," and it was a shit show.
But not with a second-year quarterback. If you had a veteran quarterback,
clearly regressed,
who can come in and like you got a quarterback in his growing years, like he's supposed to be taking steps forward. You got to have somebody that can groom this young man. How do you? To me, Belichick's too smart for that. I don't get it.
Now, let me. I'll argue real quick against the point that he don't care for Mac Jones. He drafted him.
That's true.
The comment just came out.
He did draft
Belichick
him,
drafted Mac Jones.
And that was the same draft. That was the Justin Fields draft, right?
Yeah, he went after Fields.
So, but it was ever quarterbacks in that draft.
You're right. I agree. That's why I don't understand why he did what he did last year. If this was your guy you drafted, why wouldn't you put him in the best position possible to succeed?
Because he thought he was smarter than the average bear based on his past histories.
And this your boy Nick Saban's guy.
I made Tom Brady. I'll make another one.
Right. So it didn't work out. So again, this is his last year.
Make another hole.
Right. Right.
Make another hole.
Now he went out and got Gesicki from Miami. Went and got a tight end. He traded his best wide receiver.
Which wasn't
traded him.
Wasn't saying much.
Well, I mean, that was his best wide receiver
at the time.
Traded him. Got rid of the running back, I believe.
Yeah,
got rid of him. So, what is he doing to improve the team, bro?
But the Patriots have never paid big money for players.
No, when it's time, he'll get rid of you.
But the problem has been the last few years they've drafted like shit. The last few drafts have not been good. Who's coming up through that organization now? That's really banging like that. Like that's you can say as a superstar that's been drafted by the organization within the last 4 years.
One of the defensive cats that he let go.
That he didn't let go.
Outside of the defensive cats.
Yeah, he didn't let the defensive cats go.
The offense has suffered for years.
Returning after this year. I really don't, and I think it's going to be a breaking news. Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft agree to part ways. It's going to be something like that.
You're not going to fire.
You're not going to fire.
You can't outright fire.
He's not going to fire. He's not going to fire. But let them either don't make the playoffs or have a terrible year.
Or he gonna go up. He gonna go upstairs.
No, he ain't going upstairs.
Can't go upstairs. Hell, he can't draft.
Well,
right.
It's gonna be more so. What they say? Consultant.
Yeah,
we've seen that done plenty of times where they move somebody into the consultant role. But let's talk about some NBA, man.
Yeah, let's get to some basketball.
Hey, man, I know y'all saw the other night where Boston made a statement and gave the Bucks 40 point victory, dog. And it wasn't like everybody was healthy. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
And they just came out and just said, you know what? We better than you.
Statement game.
Huh?
Statement game because they kept Tatum and Brown in the game. Y'all notice that?
Did not pull them out.
Didn't pull them out. They wanted to make a statement. Like, you know what? Y'all done came back and got us. You had that 1 seed. But when we see y'all and everybody healthy, we want to let you know you're going to still have to go through us. And they beat Milwaukee last year in Milwaukee. Now, I know, what's the name was hurt. And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But when healthy, personally, I will still take Miami.
Milwaukee.
I will still take Milwaukee.
Me too.
I will still take them in a 7-game series.
I'm still rolling with Milwaukee
because Drew Holiday is on a tear right now.
Mm.
But it's gonna be a battle.
He had 9 points the other night.
Oh, it's good. But the man just had 50.
He had 9 points the other night.
Bro,
and your man,
but Boston does play defense. Yeah,
locked him up.
Okay, I get it. Boston does play defense, and it's gonna be
none of that big boy stuff that he was taking. You know, he used to take the bigger guards down and punish them.
Yes,
he couldn't do that to your man.
I would say,
bro,
Boston.
They showed up the other night. I can't.
I would say Boston is probably the deepest team in NBA. Like
Milwaukee is too, man.
Milwauke's pretty deep, but I think Boston is just. I get them a slight edge as far as depth. I'm not rooting for Boston because I didn't like the Udoka thing. The Udoka thing, I
still hurting you.
Yeah, I just don't want them to win because of how they did them, and then to turn around and try to block them from the Brooklyn coaching job and all that. I think they're just doing too much. So I can't root for Boston to win anything. But a statement game is one thing. You know, here's the thing: in a 7-game series, it don't matter.
Well,
the best team is going to win in 7 games.
I'm putting this out there. Y'all might disagree, but I think Boston is a better coach team than the Bucks. That's just me.
I can't say that.
I'm not
because
listen, if Udoka was there, I would say
Budenheiser, whatever you say his name. Remember, he was this close from getting fired, dog, because all of the miscues and all that stuff. But his players got on a run. His players got on a run, and his players was balling out. But Budenhauser, if you watch him coaching the other night, he was flat out coaching. Nothing he tried, any type of adjustments he made.
So one game, you're going to say a rookie coach is better than Budenhauser?
No, what I'm saying is Budenhauser is not the great coach that everybody we saying he is because they won a chip. He's that same dude that was this close.
He got probably the best player in the NBA right now. And
the rookie coach is he's just running everything that Udoka had planned. He ain't changed.
But watch this though.
He just took the reins and he just rolling with it.
He hasn't been through the playoffs as a head coach yet.
Exactly.
And you know, Ben, that during a playoff series, you have to make adjustments on the fly. So Milwaukee is gonna watch that tape. They're gonna see what Boston did to him, whatever. So during that series, both coaches are gonna have to make adjustments. Before he gets to Milwaukee, he's gonna have a series or two where he's gonna have to make some coaching decisions. Oh, Udoka ain't there no more.
That's true.
It's on you, buddy.
That's true.
So now it's the playoffs. It ain't like we just got the most talent, we got the most experience, nothing. Each playoff series is different. You're gonna have to coach. So let's see. I hope the brother well. But let's see if he can make adjustments, particularly, let's say the Eastern Conference Finals when he runs up against Budenholzer again. They're gonna watch the tape and see how to do whatever, right?
Yeah,
he's gonna have to make some adjustments.
What's the season series with them? Milwaukee and Boston.
I think Boston got it.
Boston got the series.
I think Boston took the series with their last win. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know that don't.
Even though Milwaukee gonna finish with the better record.
I mean, that
the way the NBA is, that means nothing now.
That means nothing. Look, the NBA is still.
Boston proved I can go to Milwaukee and win.
The NBA is still about the stars, right? It was the stars that shine. It's Tatum and Brown gonna shine in that moment because I'm still. My memory of Tatum, I know he's having a great year, but I'm still remembering him pretty much disappearing in the finals last year. I was highly disappointed in him. I thought that was his.
The entire team disappeared except for Brown.
But I thought that was Tatum's moment.
The role players disappeared too.
I thought that was Tatum's moment to go from star to superstar.
I think he's
like
there.
That
now.
was his moment.
I think he's there now. The way he's played the entire
he
year.
got out superstarred by Steph.
But the way, and Golden State had much more experience than they did too. But check this out. I think the way Tatum has played all year, I think he's over that. Like, I don't think he's going to hit the play. This ain't James Harden. Like, when he hits the playoffs
I'm not calling him James Harden, but
he can't stand him anyway, so.
Don't get me started.
I'm not saying he's Harden. I'm just saying
But so y'all don't think the way this dude has played all year, that he hits the playoffs and all of a sudden he's going to shrink under the pressure or whatever? Like, he's been balling out. Like, Boston is on a mission, right? Boston wants to get back to the finals, and I think Tatum will say, hey, I know I'm the dude now. Like, you ain't got to worry about me fading or none of that. I know I'm the dude now. Last year, I was kind of scared. I was, everybody was telling me that I was the man I didn't feel I was. I didn't feel I arrived. He arrived. I don't see him regressing.
DY, you seem like you got some thoughts on this.
First things first, Boston got to see the series 2-1,
okay.
Which means they own the tiebreaker. Second thing is, I don't think that you win statement games in March. I think as we get closer,
2 weeks before the playoffs, you do. You don't think so?
They're not about to play each other.
Well, number one, because it's not gonna change anything in the seedings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, statement games are made when something's on the line, and I don't feel like anything was necessarily on the line. I think it's good competition and a good battle between the two best teams in the East. And I think it's a reminder or maybe even a wake-up call for Milwaukee to get their stuff together, or the results going to be the same thing as last year.
Yeah.
I get that.
You still got to break.
I get that.
That's a great point. Great point. I don't know. I don't know about y'all, man. I'm so excited for the NBA playoffs this year, just because of the parity.
I am too.
And it's probably about, I don't know, would y'all agree? Maybe about 5 teams that could win it. Like if you
mean overall, or you talking
overall.
So overall, those 5 teams, you would say Milwaukee. You can say Boston. You can say.
I can't put Philly in there. I don't know why.
No, we're finna move over to the West now.
I can't put Denver.
So we move over to the West.
Phoenix.
You can't put Denver in there?
You got to put it.
Denver.
Denver won
that with Murray and
right. I got them in there.
Put them
when they healthy and what they've done all year long, you got to put them there.
And man, it's
now I know you about to go there. You gotta put LA.
Right, I'm not being biased.
LA.
The Lakers, man, look.
I'm gonna put Golden State.
You got to put Golden State because they are the reigning champions,
and they got the pedigree,
and they can turn it on.
They got the pedigree.
They can turn it on,
and they about to get Maury Povich Wiggins back. Neither here nor there.
Come on, man.
But when him back,
man.
hey man, it happens.
So go ahead and say
such is life.
Go ahead and say it. You are not the father.
Hang on.
Come on, man.
It is what it is.
Come on, man. The man going through something.
I know. I'm just saying.
Get back on the court.
With Wiggins back, they become dangerous.
Yes.
They become dangerous. I don't even know if Paul George can make it back. The Clippers ain't gonna be no push-up.
The Clippers
way
are the
that
Clippers.
looks,
Let's stop this right now.
Way
The
that
Clippers
looks,
are the Clippers. Stop it. Stop it. We say this every year.
How would PG
Stop
back,
man?
And
the
boy
Clippers don't do nothing this year.
Had an ankle injury last
night. One of them
night.
gonna be gone.
I'm just gonna put that out there. You know he went down with an ankle
but he still played in the game, and he had 38 and 10.
But then he went down with an ankle injury.
No, he went down and played
how
in the game.
How you feel about teams like Memphis? And
Memphis won't win the championship.
Yeah, I mean,
listen. But I think Memphis is a contender.
They're a contender.
They are a contender, but they don't win the championship
I think
because they're not disciplined enough to win the championship.
But I think if they stay healthy,
they could be there.
I challenge the discipline part because they've been there. Unfortunately,
they ain't been under to the second round. They just got to the second round last year.
But then
But that makes you hungrier.
They had players who got hurt and they couldn't advance. So this year, if they go into the playoffs healthy and on some type of roll, they could be the most dangerous team. You think Ja Morant?
Memphis?
You think Ja Morant don't have a chip on his shoulder right now?
Of course he does.
I think the key to them is Jaren Jackson.
They're gonna miss. I
think Jaren Jackson's the key to Memphis.
Let's break down Memphis. They're gonna miss Clark.
And I'm gonna go.
We don't know if Big Boy is back yet.
I don't know if Steve Adams is back.
I don't know if he's back. That's
Adams
huge.
not back yet.
That's huge.
Clark is out for the year.
But I'm gonna tell you,
Jackson is
the biggest.
Jaren Jackson can stay out of foul
I talked about this weeks ago.
Dylan is a time.
It went under radar. Luke Kennard, the shooter.
Great pickup.
That was so under the radar, man.
I don't know how the Clippers let that happen.
That's a great pickup for them. Now they have a dead-eye shooter, which they did not have last year. But
they better have.
What are y'all thoughts on this KD experiment down in Phoenix, man?
Phoenix will not win a championship this year.
Is that enough this year to get them over the hump, man?
No, they don't have a bench.
And they haven't had enough time to play together in jail.
Correct.
You know, KD's going to be KD, but the more and more as his career goes on and as the years continue to pass on, KD is just not. He just ain't.
KD is getting older.
He ain't that dude.
And these little knick-knack injuries that he coming up with as you get older, we know because, man.
The man hurt himself in the layup.
I wasn't gonna bring it up to you, but
it is what it is.
Somebody said his first game back, just let him stay out the layup line and just shoot your shots.
But we all know that Devin Booker and Chris Paul are one left turn from their hamstring pulling. You know, they can't stay
time of the
healthy.
year Chris Paul started. I agree.
I think losing Bridges was huge.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see Bridges last night?
Huge.
Dude, he balling out.
Oh my God!
And you guys are making my point. Phoenix does not have a bench. The mere fact they was up 20 last night and Denver got back in the game with basically reserves tells you they don't have enough depth. Now, if they get that bench together and KD is allowed to play with Booker and Chris Paul another year, and I think they need another point guard, not the dancer. But they need another point guard behind Chris Paul.
Kev got a list of players that he going in on.
You know, he the dancer. Remember Westbrook used to dance all the time before. Remember that? So I think they need another point guard. They need another wing that can defend. They can do that over the summer. They can handle that or in the draft, do what they got to do. Now, next year, Phoenix is going to be dangerous.
So
this year,
are you saying they gave second round is the best you would get them?
Yes. They will not make the Western Conference Finals.
What are they seeded right now?
They seeded fourth.
They four.
Yeah, right now, they play the
4 or
Clippers.
5.
They play the Clippers right now.
Oh, that'd be a great series.
And I don't know what happened with Westbrook. But Westbrook is playing.
That was one game.
That's because Paul George and Kawhi didn't play.
Hey.
Westbrook is a throw the ball in the third row in a heartbeat.
How many times did AD and LeBron out and he was in the game and he was hitting the side of the backboard? He didn't do that the other night.
No, when it's his show, now check this out. I'm going to meet you on this point. Kawhi and Paul George was gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's his show. He can do that when it's his show. He's more aggressive. You know, he can do that. That's his role right there.
What's the old
when he plays
saying,
with somebody else, that ain't
old folks saying sun shine on the dog's ass once a day. It happens. I mean, it's not. I wasn't impressed.
Well, I really think he was up just to play against Ja.
Yeah, I mean, Westbrook.
He got up for that game.
Westbrook is a dog. Let's like what happened with the Lakers and all that. One thing about him, he bring it every night. He plays hard.
Yep.
But his decision making
is terrible.
Is horrible.
And he's taking minutes away from man, which I don't understand why Tylu's letting that happen.
Exactly.
But
that's gonna come back to bite him.
So I want to ask a question to go kind of back to KD. He made a statement the other day about he don't care about legacy anymore.
He pulled a Dame.
Did he pull? I don't say that. He pulled a
Dame. I'm so glad you mentioned that, bro.
He pulled a Dame.
Come on.
How do you feel about? And I want DY to kick this off. How do you feel about a player of that magnitude coming out and saying he don't care about legacy? He just want to play, kind of shine away from the moment.
Well, I think first things first, he feels that he already has a legacy, which in some respects, he's a world champion.
Yep, twice.
He's done everything you can do scoring-wise.
Yep.
He's got notoriety for being one of the top 5 players in the league. So he can hang his hat on that all day long. But as his career continues to progress, and LeBron he's a bad example because of his longevity and how he's maintained that for 18 years. That's very, very rare. Almost it's never been done before.
Right.
But KD's not going to be able to, as his career continues to extend, continue to hang his hat on what he's done and what he's accomplished. I think it's very selfish of him, and he's been a very selfish player throughout his career, thinking that he is the number one guy wherever he goes because he's a top leading scorer. It takes more than that. It takes more than that to win championships. You won a championship with Golden State because you had players around you that were willing to distribute. That defense was good. You look at the team that he decided to go to, and it ain't the same effect. Yeah, you got Booker, and Booker gonna get you those points. You got a Hall of Fame point guard, but you got nothing else besides that. So what is your legacy gonna do for you when it comes playoff time?
I mean, because before y'all go, I'm gonna let y'all go, because for me, if I'm the Phoenix Suns organization and I hear that, I'm like, this is not the guy I traded for. This is not the guy I traded Mikal Bridges for. Right, this is not the guy. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I brought you in here to take us to the next level. He
didn't say he didn't want to win a championship. He didn't say that.
Okay,
testing. Is this thing on? This is proving my point that KD will always be a Robin. He will not be Batman nowhere. So you all have condemned me and talked shit every time I say it. But now you feeling what I'm saying because of what he came out and said. No Batman
would ever say that.
For I don't care if it's baseball, football, I don't care if it's slide playing jacks.
Hall of Fame, baby.
Coming out to say that, man. Are you crazy? Kev, go ahead. Please enlighten me if I'm wrong.
I'm going to take another perspective.
Oh, here we go.
This is KD saying, I used to be sensitive. I used to respond to everything anyone ever said to me.
He's still sensitive.
On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I used to respond, right? I cared about my legacy, trying to live up to whatever. KD woke up and said, you know what? I don't care about my legacy. I know my legacy is legit. I'm a 2-time champ, and I was the MVP in both of them. The both finals, I was an MVP. I've been an MVP in this league. I've been the scoring champ several times. My legacy is set. I'm going to go down as one of the best players you've ever seen in your life. What he's saying is, I'm tired of going back and forth with Charles Barkley. I'm tired of going back with, I got to win somewhere else. You know what? I'm just going to go out and ball because this is what I do. He's saying, I'm going to stop responding to all this stuff on Twitter and getting sensitive and all that. You know what? Mm-hmm. If that's what y'all think, I'm not trying to prove nothing to nobody else.
He didn't care about no legacy. That's what
no,
he said.
But he never said, I don't want to win a championship. He didn't say that. What he said was,
tomato.
He's saying all of this why he got on.
It's a cop out.
That yellow, red, and black outfit that Robin used to wear. That's what he had on when he was saying that. With the little shoes that had the little curl up at the tip.
The little Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I do agree. I do agree this. You never would have heard of Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or LeBron James. Like, you never would have heard
a player
them say
his magnitude should never say nothing.
They never would have said that. I 100% agree with that, yes. I think he was trying to say, I'm tired of arguing with people, trying to please other people and trying to take, I'm
just say, I'm going to get my ass off social media. Don't say you don't care about your legacy.
He can do that too.
How you don't care about your legacy? To me,
of course he cares about his damn
legacy. It seems to be,
come on now.
To me, it seems to be a cop-out to he needs to win a championship outside of Golden State. The Brooklyn Nets experience failed.
Yes.
It was probably, and some people are calling it the biggest failure of all time.
He made the wrong decision hooking up with
the greatest shit show
of
ever.
all time.
But that wasn't on KD. That's not on KD.
Not saying it's
KD
on him.
showed up every night.
It's not on him, but he's a part of that.
He's a part of the greatest shit show ever.
He's a part of it.
But that's because he teamed up with the wrong dude. What he needs to do is say, I made a bad business decision hooking up with a guy that's a lunatic. I should have either stayed in Golden State or I should have went somewhere.
Rodman was the biggest lunatic we ever saw, and Jordan and Pippen kept him under control because guess what? Batman said, this is what we going to do. I'm going to get in the car. We're going to go get you from Vegas and bring your ass back here, and you're going to play.
Rodman wasn't on the level of KD. Stop the comparison. Stop it. What I'm saying is,
Kyrie is the problem that you was talking about.
Right, so he made a bad business decision.
So if you're a Batman, you getting in your car and you riding over and saying, Kyrie, what the fuck, bro? Let's do this.
Agreed. He should have did that.
But guess what? What he did was Twitter fingers.
So are you blaming the Brooklyn debacle on KD? I know you're not doing
that.
No. I'm talking about leadership and being that dude.
And the thing on top of that is that he followed Kyrie.
He did. Bad business decision. You're making my point.
Right.
Bad business
followed
decision.
Kyrie to Brooklyn.
Don't blame that on him.
I'm not blaming it on him.
That's not his personality to say, "Hey, dude, you either in or you." You know what,
Kev? Kev, you don't have to blame him for it.
He has to be that dude.
But it's a part of his legacy. It's a failure.
Okay, yes, it goes on this resume. The Brooklyn debacle. I 100% agree with you.
Get in on this, man, because Kev ain't trying to hit.
I'm just saying, bro.
He pushed for James Harden. He wanted the coach out when he got there.
Yes, that falls on him. I agree. It's on his resume. He can't get away from that. I 100% agree. But don't put that on him. That man showed up. He was legitimately hurt, and when he played, they won. The man almost beat Milwaukee by his damn self and got to the. Come on, man. Don't do that.
Almost.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Almost.
Now, I agree.
Almost
a person on his level should never say nothing like that, ever. Now you do that when you retire, whatever. Right. But in the midst of it, and Phoenix brought you there to take him over the hump, you don't say that. I 100% agree with you on that.
For what you're saying, for that to be true, that means this dude need to come in, ball out, and take them to the next level and not say a fucking word. But would you put all your chips on the table in Vegas to say that he's going to do that? Because you keep saying that's not his character. That's not him. He has to be that dude.
I'm going to tell you this. That's not his squad. That's Booker's squad.
Golden State wasn't his squad.
He's just the best player.
That's the thing. He's always going to be the best player, but that does not mean he's the leader of any team. He had his chance to be the leader when he was in Brooklyn, and he could not step up to the stage.
But if he's not a leader,
OKC, you making my point.
But if he's not a leader, he's simply not a leader. Stop putting him on him to be a leader. Like Barkley keep telling him to drive the bus. I'm not a bus driver. I'm the passenger on the side. I'm not a bus driver, bro. It's not his personality. He's not a verbal dude. I'm just telling you, he's not a verbal dude.
Go ahead and say it.
He's not a verbal dude. Like I go out and I play basketball. I'm the best player, one of the best you've ever seen in your life. I will go down like that. However,
come on, DY.
He ain't got the LeBron, Jordan, Kobe personality. That's not him.
I'm frustrated.
That's not him.
You know, I agree with KDL, but here's the point I'll make about his legacy. His legacy is forever tainted at this point.
Why?
His legacy is forever tainted because of the bad decisions that he's made since leaving Golden State. He's been on one now. This is his third team.
This is second
team.
Second team. He made a bad business decision going to hook up with Kyrie.
Fourth team overall.
Overall. But since he left Golden State, this is second team.
Okay. And we talk about the greats. How many of them play for 4 teams?
Well, see, that's an unfair comparison, too.
No, answer the question.
No.
Answer the
that's
question.
An unfair comparison because they were under like 10-year contracts.
His legacy is, I feel like I can go anywhere and win. I feel like I can go anywhere and make that team better. I feel like I can go anywhere and put that team over the top. And he's only been able to prove that one time. And that was with the
73 win team.
Do Golden State win those 2 championships without KD on the floor?
With 1, 2, 3.
You can't say that they wouldn't. You can't say they wouldn't because they won before him.
They won
and they won after him.
They won
so
before.
You can't say that.
Hold on.
He was icing. He was the cherry that went on top of the cake. The cake was already made.
Right. But you wouldn't have won without him. You wouldn't have won without him. No. Secondly, they went out and recruited him.
Why not
he
get a dynamic? You get a dynamic player that lessens the work that you got to do, what I got to do, and we just gonna go in and kill.
So they recruited him, and he won them 2 championships and was the MVP of both championships, by the way. But let's not leave that out. So he's clearly the best player to put him over the top. They were unbeatable.
He's always going to be the best player on the team because of who he is. We're not disputing his talent.
It's not the man personality, man. Y'all want that man to be LeBron, Kobe,
okay.
Mike.
All right.
Hell, even Giannis.
He wants to be in the same conversation.
You can tell Giannis has the personality.
That's the problem.
As those people.
He is. His play tells you.
No.
His play
tells you. I'll give you a prime example. I'll give you a prime example.
He's starting to get hurt.
Larry Bird was not very vocal, but he went on that court, balled out, and he was the leader of that team, of the Boston Celtics. He was the leader. But you didn't hear him. He wasn't always on, but you knew he was the leader. KD has to be that person, even if he is not on the forefront speaking up and all of that.
What is KD? 15 years? What do you like? 15?
He up there.
In year 15, you can't expect KD to be something that he's not. He's never been that.
Bird was never vocal.
So is it
unless you was on the court and he was talking shit?
I think Bird was vocal.
So going back to
vocal in the media.
So going back to the comment, then is it a cop out? Is it just saying, you know what? Because everywhere he goes, the expectations is championship.
Of course,
right?
Because
everywhere he goes,
because of his level,
type of player he is.
I
right?
agree with that.
So in this case, when you come out and say that. You're trying to like,
Jason Tatum
if it don't work, then I don't care. I'm still KD. I don't
and they
care.
lost.
But Jason Tatum said the same thing in last year's playoffs. That I don't know what y'all putting this on me for. I ain't on that. You're right. Jason
you
Tatum,
said you went in on him about
himself.
that then.
Yeah.
You went in there. And what happened? They got their ass busted.
And he came back this
because
year on the
the rest of the team followed his lead.
Okay, and then he came back this year on the mission, and now he knows he's the man. That's what I'm telling y'all. He's not going to fade off in the playoffs. Kind of the same thing. Kevin Durant is going to be the best player on Phoenix. But that's Devin Booker's team.
But what does that mean if they don't make it out the second round?
That this wasn't the year because they ain't got the right team.
Anything in Phoenix right now with KD added to that team.
Don't put this on
less
KD
than a championship.
When they lose in the second round.
Anything less than a championship for the Phoenix Suns is another KD failure.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Look at the roster.
Yes,
they don't have the roster to win a championship, bro. They have no bench. This ain't on KD. Hell, if they ain't had KD, they wouldn't do nothing this year.
So you said what you said.
They don't have a roster.
What you said when we started this conversation, you said if Phoenix goes out and does this in the draft, does this in free agency.
You got to improve the roster.
Are they the favorite to win the West next year?
Next year they will be if they improve the roster. They're not the favorite this year because they don't have the roster. Look at them. They don't have the bench.
How come they don't have the roster?
Because they traded it away.
They only traded Bridges and who else? Like 2 guys.
Cam Johnson, Bridges. They traded away picks. They gave away the roster. Crowder gone.
So you gave away the roster.
Cam Johnson.
Crowder was gone before KD got
take you to the next level.
You don't have the roster, bro. Look at the
roster.
roster.
And he asked to go there. That's where he wanted to go.
He did.
He wanted to go.
So when they lose in the second round, it's KD fault.
It's going to be a stain on him.
Why?
Because
they don't have a roster.
Because your KD is who you are.
Come on.
He has not embraced. He it's one thing where they say everybody.
Well, how come when the Lakers lose,
everybody want to be a beast?
It ain't LeBron's
until
fault.
it's time to do what beasts do.
It's
always
LeBron's fault.
No,
always.
And he takes it like a champ. He takes it. He takes it.
Y'all call it a failure regardless when LeBron loses in the finals. When he didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love, it was still a loss on LeBron, and it's still a stain on him.
When LeBron loses, it's always the roster's fault because you didn't put enough around him. Always. No. When LeBron loses in the playoffs,
we call him bullshit.
You didn't put enough around him.
All they talk about
is
when KD losing record in the
finals. It's KD's fault.
All you talk about is losing record in the finals. That's all everybody.
But when LeBron wins, this ain't got nothing to do with the roster. It was all about LeBron. But when KD loses, it's KD's fault. Is that what y'all sitting there telling me?
KD has to get to the finals as much as LeBron to even make that statement true, Kev.
You want to be one of the all-time greats, you got to take it.
So he's not going to be one of the all-time greats. Is that what y'all saying?
Everybody want to be a beast.
How the hell KD?
They already dropped him in the rankings. He like number 11 now. He dropped after Steph won last year.
He's starting to get hurt a lot too. His body is breaking down too.
Yeah,
so we got to factor that in.
That's another thing about
factor
KD
that in too.
You
his
see
body
these
is breaking down.
As they get older, they go through training regimens. They put on weight. They put on shit. Mike perfected it. Mike's like, I can't beat Detroit. They killing me. Guess what? I'm in the gym.
The Breakfast Club started. I remember that. The Breakfast Club started. Yeah. Somebody need to holler at LeBron on how he done took care of his body this long. Like, why don't you feed into this dude? Hey, dog, how do you do this? Like, somebody need to holler at him as far as conditioning and keeping your body.
Well, it's not like it's a secret.
But KD's not going to do that. You know why? Because his legs.
That he don't care about.
Right.
that he don't care.
They might as well trade him down to Portland so him and Dame Dash can
hang out together.
Yeah, they can hang out.
And that I'll make this last point. What makes you think if he ain't satisfied with what they do in the playoffs, he don't say, get me out of here next year?
Who, KD?
Yeah. You only got 2 years left.
Yeah. The contract almost up.
So now you're going to go to Phoenix and lose because they don't have the right roster. And then he's going to ask out. Come on, man. Y'all going too far.
Why not?
Stop it.
He shouldn't have came out with that statement.
He's not going nowhere, number one. Number two, Phoenix will bolster the bench. They'll get another guy that can play D. They're going to get another point guard because Chris Paul is literally getting older before our eyes. There's so many people blowing past Chris Paul. They leave, and I love Chris Paul. I'm just saying what I'm looking at. Hey. They're blowing past him. Hey. They let Steph laughing at him.
Steph,
they leave
killed me, man.
And you know what they're doing now? If you watch Phoenix play, they're double teaming KD when he gets the ball. They're double teaming Booker. They're leaving Chris Paul open. He can't hit. Can't shoot the three. They're leaving him open.
He never could, though.
Yeah, but it's being exposed now because you got two wing players that they're double teaming. So now, without you having another third option on there, you have to make the shot. They're leaving Chris Paul open.
So, but if you got a great,
but again, that's KD's fault.
If you got a great point guard as Chris Paul is, he's still a great distributor.
He is. But he can't shoot, and he's being exposed now because they're leaving him open.
But you can't double team both KD and Booker at the same time.
Yes, they are. When KD gets
only
the ball,
5 people on the court, Kev. How many people on the court?
KD, I'm gonna tell you what happens.
Drive, you mean to tell me I'm kicking it out to KD? He's already covered.
They're giving one side of the floor to watch him play. They're giving one side of the floor to KD, double, swing it. Booker gets the ball, double. They're leaving Chris Paul open right now. Because they're picking their poison, and Chris Paul can't hit the shot. So I'm telling you what they're doing.
So what's
because the Suns don't have a damn roster.
If KD is so great,
he's still coming out with 30.
How come he's not getting over? So he's just standing there letting the double.
He's averaging 16 a game in Phoenix.
Right.
KD had 30 last night on 12 of 15 shooting.
Okay,
I'm just telling you.
So now he up to 18.
12 of 15 shooting.
He up to 18. Great job, KD.
They haven't even lost a game. No, but I'm saying. They haven't, because Booker is the main scorer. They haven't lost a game with KD in the lineup. I dare y'all look it up.
They haven't.
Right.
So why is 2 games?
Why is that?
They
play more than 2 games.
So if Phoenix wins it, if Phoenix wins it, does KD get credit?
No, Booker will. Booker is the main dude. KD, I'm telling you, KD's still gonna get his numbers. Booker, watch the game. KD had 30 last night,
bro. When they went to the finals, Booker couldn't get him over the hill.
Facts.
He couldn't do it by himself. No.
Okay, well, you telling me now that he got KD.
And Chris Paul was hurt that series. If you're talking about Milwaukee, remember Chris Paul didn't play the first 2 games.
That's true.
Chris Paul always gonna be hurt.
That's true.
His hamstring is a rubber band.
And he run out of
rubber band. This time of the year,
he's
always is either gonna be his hamstring or he's gonna get tired.
He run out of gas
old right
every year.
I 100% agree about Chris Paul. But do not put this on KD, bro. And the man been there a cup of coffee.
I don't think anybody.
And then they're going to lose in the second round. You're going to say, oh, well, KD, the experiment, it didn't work. Let's not do that. The best player on the team. Let them build that roster for next year. I guarantee you Phoenix will be right at the top of the
They can't build it next year. They gave away all their picks.
They can do it over the summer.
Hey, everybody that's out there that's watching us, that come in with us all the time, man, come up to the shop so we can finish this conversation with KDL.
Yeah, let's talk basketball.
He got blue blockers on, and he's a player's guy, and we get it. But when you look at the totality of it all, we right over here. So we got about a couple of minutes, so we're gonna do our parting shots, man. This is Humidor Sports and Cigars. We're gonna start off with my man D.Y. Nemesis, one of the SmokeFellas' very own DJs, man. Book this cat. Let's do it. Give us your parting shots, baby.
And as always, it's a pleasure being on the show. No matter how long it is, man, I love coming on here, chopping up with you brothers. Great conversation. I love listening in. I'm always here in the crowd. Yeah, everybody come on down here to Eduardo Lamar doing the show live. It's a great time. We had a lot of people in here last week.
Yeah, last week was bananas.
Especially as we get heavy into the playoffs. We got the NFL draft coming up. Come on up here, come kick it with us.
KDL, we give you your parting shots, man.
I want to give a couple of shout outs, man. First of all, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for watching as usual. Thanks for the comments and all that. But I want to give a couple of shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my college teammates, man. They had a couple birthdays. Shout out to Chris Pickett last night. My shooter, Kankakee head basketball coach, y'all in high school basketball. Shout out to my roommate, Keith Harris. Happy birthday today, April Fools. Shout out to Squirrel. Happy birthday, missed you. Shout out to D. Happy birthday. Catch y'all this weekend.
Hey, y'all play with KD, man. Holler at us, man, because we got some questions about this dude's game. We got questions. So holler at us, man, on the personal level so we can get some questions answered about my man KDL. Left.
Hey, I'm just going to say shout out to all the Aries. There's a lot of y'all. I knew that many damn Aries. And it seems like I'm going to be partying all month with y'all. So I'm trying to get my living order.
I'm in the house with one, bro.
You see, I got the water ready. So to all my Aries, there's a lot of y'all to name. I want to give a special thank you to my man Hula Malone, man, came through, set up, man. Y'all gonna see what after he's done with his ed and everything, we're gonna put it out there so y'all can see the type of work that he did for us, man. He came through. Appreciate you, brother. And of course, all y'all who follow us every week. Believe it or not, I know it's a lot. We have a lot of fun up here. We joke a lot, but this takes a hell of a commitment to get up every Saturday morning. And y'all know how we drink and party. So we really be tired when we do this. So we really come out here.
Somebody giving you a shout out at your new job at Jack in the Box.
Oh, hello, Timothy. Good morning. Whatever.
He said that's why you tired. You was on fries all night.
So, but hey, seriously, man, like this is a commitment, man. And we do this, try to entertain you guys, man. We really appreciate it.
Shout out to Sports Zone.
Sports Zone Chicago. Keep following the SmokeFellas. You still got time to sign up for Costa Rica, October 5th through the 10th. Come hang out with the SmokeFellas. We taking it international. It's gonna be a groove. And of course, say the date, June 25th, the 50-50. It's gonna be huge, man. Me and Mr. SmokeFella here celebrating our 50th birthday, man. So salute.
Shout out to Slides, July 22nd, another 50th.
All our 73 babies, man.
We on deck this year, baby. We on deck.
Shout out to Nunu. It's a bunch of y'all,
man. Yeah, shout out to Nunu. I got to hear this every day now. It's my birthday month. So, man, stay tuned. Like Lefty said, we doing big things, Humidor Sports and Cigars, man. And as I say every week, where there's smoke,
there's the fellas.
Hey, Sean, take us on out of here, man. Peace and love.